A very good evening to you. You're watching Prime Time News on News First. I'm Chaturang Hapwarachi.
And I'm Sarah Fonseca. Before we head into our stories, first we'll take a look at headlines.
RANIL Wickramasinghe declares he will continue as the Prime Minister. Joint opposition calls on the President. Minister Susil Premajayantha holds talks with the former President. Arjuna Mahendran missing. Aloysius and Palisena further remanded.
On to those stories in detail now. In a letter to the President, Most Venerable Tibbatuave Sri Sumangala Thera, the Chief Prelate of the Malwatu chapter, has stated that the political situation in the country following the local government election has resulted in a great deal of uncertainty among the public. The Thera called on the President to take this situation into consideration and act on the promises of January 2015 and calls for the President to work together with everyone to take the country towards development.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickramasinghe convened a media briefing at Temple Trees today.
As far as I am concerned, I am carrying on as the Prime Minister because under the law and convention I don't see any reason why I shouldn't.
වසර 24ක් එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ නායකත්වයේ දරලා තිනවා මේ ඔබතුමා හිතන්නේ නැද්ද දැන් කාලේ හරි කියලා අලුත් නායකත්වයට පක්ෂය බාර දෙන්න?
ඒ අලුත් නායකත්ව පරපුර බිහි කරන්න ඉන්නේ ඒකයි මම දැන් කිව්වේ. එතනින් ඊට පස්සේ
ඒ කවද්ද ඔබතුමා එහෙම
පක්ෂය දැන් ඒ වැඩ කටයුතු සාකච්ඡා කරලා අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ සාකච්ඡා කොහොමත් මේ මැතිවරණ කොමිසමට අර ලයිස්ට් එව්වයන් පස්සේ තමයි ක්‍රියාත්මක ඒකේ පැය 24න් වෙන්නේ නැහැ ඒ පරිවර්තනය අපි කරගෙන යන්න
දැන් ඔබතුමාට චෝදනාවක් එනවා අගමැති ධූරයෙන් ඉවත් වෙන්න කියලා විශේෂයෙන්ම ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ එක්සත් ජනතා නිදහස් සන්ධානයේ එතකොට ජනාධිපතිවරයාත් ඒ ඉල්ලීමම කරනවා කියලා තමයි ඔවුන් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද ඔබතුමා ඒකට දෙන ප්‍රතිචාරය
නැති මම ව්‍යවස්ථාව අනුව වැඩ කටයුතු කරනවා
අගමැතිතුමා දැන් අපිට දැනට වාර්තා වෙමින් පවතිනවා ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ ඒකපත් මේ විපක්ෂයත් එක්ක ශ්‍රී ලංකා පක්ෂයේ එකතු වෙලා එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ පිරිසකුත් සමග සම්බන්ධව අලුත් ආණ්ඩුවක් හදන්න යනවා කියන්නේ. දැන් ඒ පිළිබඳව ඔබතුමා දැනුවත් තියෙනවද මොකක්ද ඒකේ තත්ත්වය?
එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ සමහර මන්ත්‍රීවරු මට කිව්වා ඒ අයට කතා කරලා තිබුණා කියලා එක එක අදහසක එකඟ වෙලා නැහැ. අපේ කණ්ඩායම ඊයේත් රැස් වුණා. මම හිතන්නේ අපි අඟහරුවාද රැස් වුණා. අපව බ්‍රහස්පතින්දා රැස් වුණා. අපව මේ රැස් වෙන්න කියලා තව දවස් දෙක තුනකින් අපි රැස් වෙලා ඉදිරියට යනවා. මේ එකකවත් මේ ඉවත් වීමක් ගැන එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ කණ්ඩායම කියලා නෑ. මම අනිත් පක්ෂ නායකයින්කත් කතා කරා පෙරමුණේ. එයාගෙත් දැනට එහෙම ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ කියලා අපිට කිව්වා. ඒගොල්ලෝ අපි එක්කම එකට ඉන්නේ.
You heard the sentiments of Prime Minister Ranil Wickramasinghe. Now, it doesn't seem like Prime Minister Ranil Wickramasinghe is ready or in a position where he wants to give up the position of Prime Minister or relinquish the leadership of the United National Party. Now, as I begin this broadcast, I can literally hear the heavy-handed keystrokes of a small group of social media keyboard warriors who are in Colombo beginning to express their displeasure about this broadcast on social media. However, we need to remind them that what we are doing is bringing you the truth. We are bringing you the facts and the figures. It is up to you to decide. As always, we stand for the truth. So that being said, let's get on with this. Some may ask, why do we put so much time and effort into the actions of the United National Party? Well, it's quite simple. The United National Party is the party of our founding father, D.S. Senanayake. It is the party that predates independent Sri Lanka. And we believe that the United National Party is one of the most crucial elements of Sri Lanka's vibrant democracy. That is why we put so much time and effort into this party. Now, it has been 72 years since the United National Party was first formed. And for nearly 1/3 of that time, one individual has been the leader of this party. That is this gentleman, Prime Minister Ranil Wickramasinghe. The latest election results, the local government election results of 2018, are just one symptom in a long drawn-out illness that the United National Party is suffering from. Now, keep in mind that the United National Party was in power when they went for this election. There were many people who thought that they would cruise to victory. However, they didn't. They controlled the key ministries in this country which operated the economy, the law and order, justice, everything. So there was no reason to think otherwise, that they won't win this election. But the people voted differently. It came to an extent where in Maharagama, the United National Party, which is 72 years old, lost out to an independent group under the symbol of the bicycle. What's more funny is that this independent group posted candidates who do not even live in Maharagama. So this is the extent to which the United National Party has fallen. Now, there are some that criticize us, yet there are many more, the rank and file, who agree with this sentiment, that the time has come for Ranil Wickremesinghe to abandon leadership of the United National Party and allow someone younger, a second tier, to take charge of this great party. There have been many brilliant leaders that have emerged from the United National Party, people like J.R. Jayawardena, R. Premadasa, former presidents of this country. Under each of these leaders, there has been a clear, visible second tier of leadership. How many can point the finger and clearly say, this is the second tier that Ranil Wickremesinghe has created through his 24 years as the leader of the United National Party? Now let's look back. What has the United National Party been able to achieve under Ranil Wickremesinghe? 2 election victories. Has the United National Party rank and file been awarded with jobs? Are they in a better state than they were? Doubtful. Has the economy of this country grown better under the United National Party and given dividends to the general public? Again, doubtful. So, what has the United National Party achieved under Ranil Wickremesinghe? If you ask a UN peer in yourself, ask the UN peer in yourself, has the party developed under Ranil Wickremesinghe? Your heart will know the answer. Now we have to hand it to Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. He is a master manipulator of his own party members. We have clearly seen how over the years he has weathered the storm. He has weathered plenty of rebellions from inside his own party and maintained the leadership position of the United National Party. We remember in the year 2000, Gamini Atukorala launched a rebellion of some sorts from within the party, agitating for change inside the United National Party. However, Ranil Wickremesinghe, what did he do? He changed a few positions, did some moves to appease the general public to show that change is being made, and he cleverly sidestepped this rebellion. Then, again in 2004, after an election defeat, there was another revolution within the United National Party. This time, again, he changed a few positions, put people like S.B. Disanayake to the post of national organizer, Disathanayake to general secretary, and then again, he sidestepped this revolution. In 2009, another rebellion, this time led by the youth of this party. What did Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe do? Again, shuffled some positions within the party, created a committee on leadership within the UNP, and sidestepped this rebellion. You see a bit of a pattern forming, don't you? In 2011, another rebellion. This time, the rank and file members of the United National Party flooded Sirikota. They simply overran Sirikota, surrounded it, and they demanded change. Again, as you can expect, Ranil Wickremesinghe made a couple of changes to positions and created this time a leadership council and sidesteps this rebellion. You might also recall this is the time when he enlisted the services of a former leader who is currently gaining popularity in the country to pave the road in front of Sirikota so that the road on which the rank and file members are approaching Sirikota would be obstructed. So this shows a clear pattern of how Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has acted. Now, this 2011 actions led to a great deal of young UNP leaders leaving the United National Party and crossing over to other parties simply because they were disillusioned by the actions of this current leader. Today he comes before the media and says, yes, well, according to the constitution, I can stay. Why should I leave? After all, this is a local government election. Well, the January 8th mandate is being drowned. What does he hope to achieve by clinging on to power? I mean, what does he attempt to gain? What does he stand to gain by surrounding himself with people who have no sense of the pulse of the general public? I'm speaking, of course, of people like Minister Malik Samaravikrama, Minister Sagar Ratnayaka. I mean, does Malik Samaravikrama, who has never contested an election or gained a position through the votes cast by the general public, know about the pulse of the people? Do people like Sagar Ratnayaka, who have been accused of inaction under the Yahapalana government against corrupt politicians, do they know the pulse of the people? This is the question that everyone should ask the UNPs. Is there a position in the party today where an organizer can come before the leader of the party or the central committee of the party and say, no, this is what the people feel, and not be persecuted? Is there a position in the United National Party where a rank and file member of the party can come before the leader and say, no, this is what we want from you, and avoid being kicked out of the party? Well, don't take it from us. Listen to what Ranil Wickremesinghe has said over the past years. Keep in mind what I said about sidestepping rebellions from inside the party, and listen to these voice cuts very carefully. You might begin to see a pattern emerging.
We looked at restructuring the party and moving ahead with Pandit Ratna. We took all views into consideration in order to work together. Many have different opinions on restructuring. During the 100 days period, we will bring all views under a single stance. We will implement those proposals and form the United National Party that secures a majority. That is what I ask from you. We are considering many proposals made regarding the United National Party. Special attention will be focused on that. I propose to provide the Leadership Council with powers. The responsibilities of the Working Committee will be vested with the Leadership Council as well. No one was able to do this. I said, I am prepared to leave if another is prepared to take over. That is not an issue. Someone must come forward.
මේ මහා බැංකුවේ අධිපතිවරයා මේකට සම්බන්ධ වුණා කියන එක එහෙම කරුණු නෑ සත්‍ය.
There is no evidence to claim the governor of the central bank was involved in this. It is baseless. He had given the instructions in the presence of 2 deputy governors. The allegation the Prime Minister intervened in the process of the tender board is baseless. I appointed the 3-member committee to look into the 30-year bond issue on the 27th of February 2015. How can I look into that? I cannot tell the monetary board to do so. I must be satisfied at first.
It is said that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. That is why we have term limits in place for positions like the executive president of the country. Over the years, there have been plenty of leaders around the world who have overstayed their welcome and have had to face the consequences of overstaying their welcome. We recall the leaders such as Saddam Hussein, Muammar Gaddafi, or more recently, Robert Mugabe, Jacob Zuma. So we see what has befallen the fate of such leaders who chose to overstay They are welcome. This is just a reminder of the true plight that the people of this country are facing. These are the views of the rank and file. With that, let's turn our attention to what Joseph Michael Pereira, a stalwart of the UNP, a former minister himself, had to say.
The UNP does not represent a single individual or a small group. It is the strength of a majority of voters across the country who cast their ballot. The party was in crisis on previous occasions as well when it gained strength. This happened even during my time. At those times I represented the party and its leader and united the party. Because of that we were able to move together. As a senior of the party, I have a flaw to reveal. The decision taken by the party while in government do not reach the people properly. The United National Party can secure a win at any given election. The only flaw is the people do not feel that win. When you take a look at the decision taken in Parliament and the discussions that take place, we do not see any program within Parliament to take the party forward. The party means the people who work for the party, the trade unions and the youth. All of them need to be strengthened. This is not a party which can be handed over to a single person. This is a party that has been blessed by a majority and secured a 5/6 power. There is no need for this party to go astray. In this backdrop, I am prepared to step up for the people and once again strengthen the party. There needs to be a program to fulfill the aspirations of the people. The MPs believe they can remain in power forever. Looking back at history, we know it will never happen. There are times we stumbled. There are times we stood up. Everyone must experience this and take decisions. For that, you need the support and the expertise from the elders.
With that, we go in for a short commercial break. More news on the other side of this.
Welcome back to the news. Several parliamentarians of the joint opposition met with President Maithripala Sirisena and pledged their support for an alliance government. The MPs had previously met with former President Mahinda Rajapaksa. We told His Excellency that we will support the government but will not accept any ministerial positions. He did not like it when we said we will remain in the opposition and support him. He then said we have to be united to move forward. We clearly mentioned that we will not take any ministerial positions. We will like it if they remove the United National Party from the government. The President said he has to first figure out how to remove the current Prime Minister from his position under the 19th Amendment to the Constitution. I do not know what will happen to the Prime Minister. We expressed our personal issues. We discussed forming a government without the United National Party. We conducted preliminary discussions and agreed to form a committee. So we believe we will see the results in 2 to 3 days.
Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa also commented on speculations regarding the future makeup of the parties.
Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa and his family attended an event in the Supreme Court complex.
අපි විපක්ෂයේ ඉඳගෙන මේ රටේ තියෙන මේ තත්ත්වය යටතේ කියන අවිනිශ්චිත තත්ත්වය යටතේ රටේ ජනතාව විඳින ප්‍රශ්න රාශියක් තියෙන වෙලාවක අපේ වගකීම තමයි මේ මැදිහත් වෙන්න කියලා.
Former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa attended the event.
කවුරුත් දන්නවනේ කොච්චර ව්‍යාකූල තත්ත්වයකට පත් වෙලා තියෙනවද කියලා. ඉතින් අපි මහමැතිවරණයක් ඉල්ලන්නේ.
National organizer of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Minister Susil Premajayantha, held discussions with former President Mahinda Rajapaksa.
RANIL line කළා ආණ්ඩුවක් අද. අපි ඉතින් බලාගෙන ඉන්නවා මොකකින් මොකක් වෙනවද කියලා. අපිත් ඉන්නේ මේ ආණ්ඩුව කැඩෙනවා දකින්න.
General Secretary of the United People's Freedom Alliance, Minister Mahinda Amaraveera, hinted about the President's future decisions. The President will only take decisions that favour the country and not those which are harmful to the country. Despite many things being said and discussed in the country, everything will be solved in the coming days and a more stable program will be implemented. The flaws will be identified and the views of the people will be given consideration. President Maithripala Sirisena is determined on this, and we believe he will work on that in the coming week in a stronger manner.
එතුමා කටයුතු කරනවා කියන විශ්වාසයක් අප තුළ තිබෙනවා.
Muthu Sivilingam, who was appointed as Deputy Minister yesterday, has resigned from the post of Chairman of Ceylon Workers' Congress. Today, the CWC announced several changes in positions.
The National and Administrative Council of the CWC convened and appointed Maradapandi Rameshwaram as the Treasurer of the CWC. Muthu Sivalingam resigned from the post of Chairman based on health reasons. He will function as a patron. The National Council unanimously agreed to appoint me as Chairman and General Secretary of the party. The National Council has given me the power to make decisions in accordance to the political changes and act accordingly. Just as February 2018, February 1815 was a decisive month regarding the administration of Sri Lanka. It was in February 1815 the last known king of Sri Lanka, King Sri Vikrama Rajasinghe, was deposed and taken prisoner by the invading British. Speaking at a forum organized by the Archaeological Society of Sri Lanka, Emeritus Professor M.U. De Silva recalled events from February 1815.
The king was taken prisoner on the 18th of February. Doyle tells the lords, "We have captured the bloodthirsty king who claimed the blood of the Aryans, and now you must select a king from among you." Doyle was aware, because these people were not united, they would never come to an agreement. The king was captured on the 18th of February. They waited until the 27th of February to select a successor. They could not do that. On the 27th, Doyle says, "You are not united, we will abolish the monarchy." The Sri Lankan monarchy was abolished. What right did Doyle have to abolish the Sri Lankan monarchy? What right did they have to treat the king that way? Then the lords were gathered to the Magul Madura on the 2nd of March. By that time, all the armies that invaded the Central Hills were lined up in the palace gardens. One by one, the lords started to make their way, accompanied by their henchmen. The first to come was Ahalepola. He was ceremonially welcomed and asked to take a seat. However, the seat usually occupied by the king was covered in white cloth. Above that was a picture of King George. So everyone who entered the Magul Madura for this occasion had to bow their heads down to King George. Thereafter, Governor Brownrigg said, "You have done a great thing. We have deposed the cruel king. We have now prepared a plan to govern Udarata, the Central Hills."
We have the details of the bond investigation coming up right after this short commercial break. Stay with News First. Welcome back to the news. Colombo Fort Magistrate Lanka Jayaratne ordered former Central Bank Governor Arjuna Mahendran to appear before the CID on or before the 8th of March to provide a statement.
The magistrate Lanka Jayaratne ordered the notice on Mahendran to be delivered via express mail and through a courier service. Additional Solicitor General Yasantha Kodagoda informed court Arjuna Mahendran is still overseas, and Interpol investigations have revealed Mahendran was living in the Singapore address provided earlier. He added when interviewed, Mahendran's daughter had noted her father was aware of the notice issued on him.
තමයි මේ මහ බැංකුව අධිපතිවරයාව පත් කළේ. දැන් එතුමාට දෙවනි වතාවටත් අධිකරණයෙන් දැනුම් දීලා තියෙනවා ලංකාවට එන්න කියලා. එතකොට ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් දැන් ඔබතුමා පත් කරලා ඔබතුමා වග කියනවා කිව්වා. එතුමා ගැන ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් මොකද ඔබතුමාගේ අදහස?
The Commission has reported the appointment is not an issue. It is not my job to produce him in court. He must decide whether to appear or not. He is no more at the central bank. These are individual decisions they need to take, and decisions that need to be taken by court. When I met Arjuna Mahendran last week, he said he will be attending a wedding and will return. He hasn't fled the country like Udayanga Veeratunga.
Fort Magistrate Lanka Jayaratne rejected the bail application filed on behalf of the owner of Perpetual Treasuries Limited, Arjuna Aloysius, and CEO Kasum Palisena. Aloysius and Palisena were further remanded until the 2nd of March.
Additional Solicitor General Yasantha Kodagoda informed court investigations have revealed Perpetual Treasuries Limited had made cash deposits to unknown accounts and withdrawn those funds thereafter. The ASG went on to say the major shareholder of W.M. Mendes is Perpetual Treasuries Limited. He said the bank account under the name of W.M. Mendes at Ceylon Bank is controlled by Arjun Aloysius and his father Jeffrey Aloysius. Investigations have revealed a sum of 1.19 billion rupees was deposited to this account on 66 occasions from the 21st of May 2014 to the 7th of February 2018. The The same sum of rupees 1.19 billion had been withdrawn from the account on 154 occasions, and the present balance of the account is zero. The additional Solicitor General believes these monies would have been used to pay off informants and given as gifts to associates. The present status of accounts of Perpetual Treasuries Limited was revealed in court today. Jasanta Kodagoda said a sum of 9.197 billion rupees is available with the Standing Deposit Facility account at the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. In addition, another 2.19 billion rupees is available in the Lanka Secure System at the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under PTL's name. The ASG said these monies have been legally reinvested by the central bank within the central bank itself. Fourth Magistrate Lanka Jayaratne ordered these monies and the returns from the reinvestments must be held with the central bank and cannot be withdrawn or transferred to PTL or any of its associated companies or personnel or any other third party until the case is concluded. The magistrate issued an order to the general managers of Pan Asia Banking Corporation, DFCC Bank, National Savings Bank and Bank of Ceylon to submit to the CID all documents and details of bond transactions entered into with and on behalf of Perpetual Treasuries Limited.
The Cabinet of Ministers has decided to spend a total of nearly $49 million on locomotives for the upcountry railway line.
During the cabinet meeting held on Wednesday, the contract to procure 12 locomotives for the upcountry railway line was awarded to the General Electric Company. The proposal, which was forwarded by Minister of Transport Nimal Siripala de Silva, will see the government spend $4.056 million on a single engine. Newsfirst and several print media outlets first reported that Sri Lankan Railways plans to import 12 7FDL diesel engines from General Electric or GE for use in the upcountry service line back in March 2017. We also reported that when tenders were opened for the supply of locomotives in July 2016, 8 companies placed their bid for project. While there have been concerns regarding the quality of the locomotives that are to be imported, Newsfirst also reported that the GE locomotives are $10 million more than 2 other US-based manufacturers who applied for the same tender. It was confirmed to Newsfirst by the former General Manager of Railways himself that General Electric handed in an unsolicited offer to supply locomotives for the same purpose back in 2012. Sources revealed to Newsfirst that several members who were tasked with the technical evaluation of the said tender were part of a tour of Tibet in 2013 funded by GE. However, speaking to Newsfirst, former General Manager of Railways BAP Aryaratne denied that there were any link between the assessment tour funded by GE and the latest tender which has been finalized with GE. The 7FDL diesel engines are no longer manufactured for US railroads since 2003. They are, however, still built for export and are used in countries such as Indonesia, Pakistan and China. The Sunday Observer reported back in March 2017 that globally the 7FDL engines have experienced quote-unquote catastrophic failures that have resulted in significant damage and locomotive fires across the globe.
That's all the news we have for you tonight. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Chaturanga Puarachi.
I'm Sarah Fonseca. Take care and good night.